Good morning, everyone. It's time for our class to have a short review of lesson number 6 in the book of Nehemiah. If I have your attention, please. We have just a few moments. It will help all of us. Nehemiah speaks in terms of you tearing down, getting your walls fixed up. This lesson gives us how we ought to go about the process of fixing the walls in your life. Each one of you have something wrong with your wall. Is your bricks falling down? Everyone in this building has a wall problem. Everybody has a gate problem. Don't say you don't, but you do, because we all need help. And so God now helps us to know how to go about the process of repairing those things. Your wall may be alcohol, your wall may be money, your wall may be food, your wall may be anything that's got a bad spot in it. And so we're going to use this process to help us to get it fixed up. All right. What are the 3 ways that Nehemiah teaches us that we can repair our walls? What is the process? Well, Sally, we got to first have a concern about the issue. Say, I got a concern about it. See, if you don't have a concern about what situation going on in your life, you're not going to ever do anything. So first you have a concern, then you what's the commit. You got to confess.
Or confess.
You got to confess. And then the second one is
have some courage.
You got to commit and then courage. So here you have 3 things now. You want to get your wall fixed. You first got to have a concern about your wall being torn down.
Yes.
If you don't have a concern about it, you're not going to get it fixed.
Amen.
Then you got to confess. Then you got to commit to the confession. Then you got to have some courage. Because here's what's going to happen. When you see what's happening in your life and you got a concern for it, then you confess in prayer to God.
This thing won't.
Then you my class here from the front row, so we'll be running all around that night. So I need all my class, y'all get up here on the front row. We're gonna take our time. This is what everybody need to do in the review. Y'all get up on the front row so we don't have to be zigzagging with the mic. Gotta help speed up the time. There you go. Good.
All right. Come on in here.
All right. We can just pass the mic down.
Nehemiah's job was a cupbearer for the king.
He was a cupbearer to the king. Exactly. What news did Nehemiah get about his city? What news did he get?
He got the news that the city was in ruins and the gates was burned down and the walls was broken down. So everything was just in ruins.
Just a mess.
A mess.
He got news that it was in ruins and the people weren't in good shape.
Yeah, downtrodden.
How did the king know something was wrong with Nehemiah? What did Nehemiah do to let the king know something was wrong?
Well, he had never come to him sad before, and this time he was sad and downtrodden.
Yeah. So when you come to church, don't come in with no frown on your face. Jesus said, when you have a problem and you get ready to pray, wash your face and go stand up and put some clothes on and act right, act like ain't nothing happened. That's what he said. Oh, so why was Nehemiah afraid to go and let the king know something was happening?
But he didn't want the king. Well, first of all, he'd never appeared before the king sad or downtrodden. And here's the reason why he was in fear. The king, being the cupbearer, I mean that he tasted all his food, his drink, make sure that everything was well. If you go there sad, you must know something happened to me. What?
How did the king respond to him asking for the trip home? How did the king respond? Sister, that's on there, Sarah. I know you can answer all.
He gave him his request and just asked him, how long do you need to go, stay?
How long?
How long
So
you
we
gonna
know
be
he
gone?
already got, because he said, I want to go back to the house. How long you gonna be?
Yes, sir.
So he didn't say you can't go back. He just said right away he's gonna get it. Well, let's look at the parallel. Nehemiah had a concern for himself and his people.
Yes, sir.
That means that the first thing you got to do in order to repair your wall is you have to have a concern that you want to get it fixed.
Amen.
Right.
He said, then the second thing that he did was he prayed to God. Now, Nehemiah prayed to his king, but he was in fear of the king. We pray to our God when we're in reverence to our king. And then when we do, we look at every item. Don't go up there and be general when you ask God to take care of stuff. Be specific. So Nehemiah looked around the city, looked around all the stuff, everything that was ruined. His horse couldn't get through certain spots. It was just a total mess. Then he confessed. That's what we have to do. We have to look at everything that happened in our lives, and then we have to confess. After the confession now, you have to commit to what you confess to. Brother, sister, I sin, our parents, I ain't gonna miss church no more. Well, you making a commitment. Don't miss anymore then. So make sure you are specific what you ask of God in your prayer. And then the last thing is courage, because you're gonna have enemies to come and try and knock you off of your commitment. Sanballat is gonna show up, Tobiah is gonna show up, and Gershom is gonna show up. What role do you think God, providence, played in Nehemiah's efforts?
He was the whole reason Nehemiah was there again.
Exactly. God is the reason for everything that we do. Thank you so very much.
Let's give it up for the in-depth adult class. Great job right there. Thank you very much. Okay, we're gonna ask now that the brothers go to the room on the side and get ready for our worship service. We'll be starting in about 10 minutes. Thank you.